Hey guys, are you listening to this episode on Himalaya?
If you are, we just want to say congratulations because you're already using the best podcast app out there.
And if you're not, you're totally missing out.
Yes, you should be having FOMO for sure.
Major FOMO.
Whether you're a podcaster or a fan,
Himalaya is designed with you in mind.
Himalaya has a ton of cool features like curated, shareable playlists and collections that are made just for you, along with personalized recommendations to help with content discovery.
And the best part is, it's super easy to use.
So like I could even use it?
You could use it. We could use it.
Wow.
They could use it. We could all use it.
It is definitely my favorite listening app, and I'm sure it'll be yours too.
So do yourself a huge favor and download Himalaya today, and be sure to follow our show once you're there. Hello, guys.
Hi.
You guys. Nice to see you.
We're at Comic-Con.
I've never been here before. This is our very first Comic-Con ever.
Yeah.
We're very excited about it.
I'm not quite sure why they wanted us here.
You know,
but I took it.
I don't really know either.
Yeah, we I think our first mistake was not like researching at all. So like we show up, first of all we couldn't find parking, then we like see this line that is the size of like a whole country.
It was worse than Disneyland.
Yeah,
trying to get in here.
I feel like there are people here to watch us, but they're just stuck.
Yeah, to all you people in line.
In the line. Hashtag
we'll
my mom and dad.
So,
come back later. If you don't know who we are, we're Unsolicited Advice, and we basically are two girls who, you know, we like to just give our opinions and tell people how they should live their lives. But like, if they should listen to us, that's like the real question.
Yeah.
That they figure out every year. So
I think
every year,
pretty good.
every episode.
Every year. We're 30 episodes in.
Yeah,
we're actually very new to the podcast world.
Yeah. Should we talk about like breaking into podcasting? Maybe
yeah, we could just a little bit. This is something we've been wanting to do for like a super, super long time. I have listened to podcasts for years now, and I've always wanted to make one. So I would every year, because this has been a long time coming, I'd be like, oh, I think I'm going to do it this year. And then I would come up with like some kind of concept that I wanted it to be, and it would never end up happening. But then I had this great like realization. I was like, I should do it with my best friend.
Because I'm amazing.
And it's been like the best. It's been the best thing to ever happen, because it genuinely, we just show up every week and we just talk. And it's usually about other people's problems, not ours. So it's really easy to like just go on and on and on about what we think they should do. But it's been so much fun. It's been like an adventure.
Totally. I know. And she asked me, she's been super into podcasts and I've been super into talking. So it was like a match made in heaven. But one thing I think, if anyone's interested in starting a podcast, one thing I think we would advise.
Hey, good job.
Is I think to like finding a name, finding who you are. That was something that I think it was easy for us to like get rolling, because we were like, okay, this is like what we want it to look like. This is what we want to do. But then also you have to kind of like leave freedom to just let it kind of morph into what it is.
Yeah.
Because when we first started, like we were just picturing like embarrassing moments, like funny, like stupid stuff. And then all of a sudden it started turning into like really serious at times too.
Yeah.
So
that took us by surprise. We weren't ready.
Yeah.
I felt very unqualified.
I'm qualified though.
Get out,
because I have a minor
Taryne.
in counseling. So.
Her minor.
So yeah, I paid big bucks for that minor. So that's been cool, and that's something I would say like to like give it that freedom to turn into something. But like she said, we're like 30 episodes in, so I don't know how much.
I feel like we're right at that point where it's like, okay, like we're getting used to this. Like we're starting to like roll with it. It's starting to go smoothly, but we're still very new. So we're still learning a lot.
When people ask you what, like, oh, what do you do? Do you say, I have a podcast?
No, because I feel like I don't feel like a podcaster, like a podcaster
But
yet.
we are. That's what I'm saying.
I don't, because then like it just doesn't feel real.
Well, we are podcasters. They're like, then why are we here?
This is actually our very first live.
Yeah. And there's 5 people here, which is amazing.
Yeah. We were like, honestly, this is a great way. If this is something that happens like more often, this is a great way to start with you guys right here.
Yeah. Well, and we always want to stay humble.
Yeah, this brought us down real low, real quick. Yeah, so be gentle with us. We usually roll through things pretty quick. Like I feel like some people kind of like cut and paste podcasts together.
Yeah.
We're really good at just kind of like flowing with it. Unless we really mess up and then we're like, Mark, can you fix this for us?
Mark, our favorite. That's Mark. Have you guys, now you can see him if you listen to the podcast. That is Mark. Yeah, that's one thing. It's been fun. Like we don't really edit too much of ourselves, which has been cool. But the only times we'll like restart or tell Mark to cut something is if we feel like we butchered like a story. There's been a couple of times it's like a really serious story and I forget how to read and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
So then like I'll butcher it and I'm like, okay, hold on. Like,
well, it's different with the
over.
serious stories also because I feel like you want to keep it a little more,
serious,
not funny.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah.
So that's where we feel like we have to like piece it a little bit more. But with everything else, I feel like it just kind of like flows as it is. So it's actually been really fun to do. Yeah. And talking with you guys on social media has been
amazing.
Unreal. It's been so much fun. That's probably my favorite part. We started this thing where we have you guys send selfies of you guys listening to our episodes. And it ranges from like all over the place. It'll be like in school and when they like should be studying or paying attention and they're sending
like
selfies of like
dinner.
In school. I get a lot of like people working out or driving to work, like commuting in the morning, listening to our episodes. So that's really fun.
It inspires me to try to work out.
I've never been able to work out and listen to podcasts. I feel like it doesn't pump me up enough.
No, I have to listen to like straight up like Drake, Chris Brown. I need someone in my ear yelling at me. But then it's hard because then you have to like you don't want to dance. Like
I see people at the gym dance all the time.
Like you see that person. Like it's that one guy who's like in the mirror, like just like so. And
you're like, I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
There was a guy, I used to work out at this 24-hour fitness that was right next to our apartment. Like 3 years ago-ish. And there was this guy that would always work out at the same time as me. I don't know what it was, but our schedules were synced. And I would see him Monday through Thursday. And he drummed. I'm not kidding. He would drum. He would be.
Did he only do his legs?
No, he'd be like on the bike or on the elliptical, always in cardio. He was a cardio guy, and he would just like be listening to his music, and he would just like fill and then crash, and then he would just keep. And it was the funniest thing. I filmed him a couple times, but then I didn't. I just sent it to friends. I didn't know. I didn't want to like embarrass him and put it public.
Confidence.
That's mean. I know, but you don't want to be that guy.
nod my head.
But then at the same time, like he's thriving, like just enjoying his workout to a T, and I'm over here just miserable.
Yeah.
So I mean,
well,
workouts.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do.
Okay, so should we like get into things?
Yeah,
get into the things.
This is time to start. We've been talking for way too long. Basically, something happened within the last 10-ish episodes. I don't know how many episodes it's been, but we've started a segment. Where Taryne, because we're fully into this and the listeners are really starting to learn and understand who Taryne is. They've learned that she can be a little awkward sometimes. Some like weird things have happened in her life that are super embarrassing, and we've called it Taryne-it-up, and Taryne will do this thing where she just like tears it up, and it's just like this really awkward, embarrassing moment, and no one knows what to do. So we've started a segment where people submit really short stories where they're doing something similar to something Taryne would do. So
yeah, it's it is interesting because every Taryne-it-up email usually starts with, so I did this stupid thing, or I was so embarrassing, and I'm like, I'm glad that like
people
these
can
are my
relate to you.
adjectives.
Hashtag relatable, Taryne.
I guess that's true. So I have a Taryne-it-up.
Yeah, they've been coming in like crazy. It's been good. This is something like normally for stories, people will submit stories via email and we'll get like this huge, like, here's the situation, like we need help with this. But for these stories, a lot of them come in DMs on Instagram. We've been tweeted a lot of emails, and they're just like really short, embarrassing stories. And they've been so much fun to listen to.
Well, I think the thing too, it's not just like embarrassing because we all do embarrassing things. Like the things that happen to me are things that are like, people think I make it up.
Yeah. Well, I did when I first met you.
Yeah.
She would tell me all these situations. And I'd just be like, there's no way that happens to one person.
She's like, oh, this girl needs attention.
And I didn't believe it until like we started hanging out more. And then I would just like witness it firsthand. And I'd just be like, oh my God.
For instance.
Yeah. Give us an example, please.
one time I was at Wendy's drive-thru and I paid for my probably spicy nuggets, who knows? And the guy went to hand me my credit card and I'm not even, it flew out of his hands. And like, you know, when like you roll your car window down, it's literally like two pieces of felt like touching each other, right?
I know what you're talking about. It's like the rubber lining, maybe.
Something
is what it is.
like that.
I don't know.
And he went and it flew out of his hand and went right in there, inside of my car. And we both like just stared at each other. And he just went, I don't. And I just looked at him. I was like, it's fine. Like, it's fine.
How does one get a credit card out from your door like that?
Well, I took it to our mechanic, Sam, and Sam laughed hysterically and was like, I've never heard of this happening.
Yeah, because you'd have to like take apart the plastic on the
inside. It was going
to
cost an extreme amount of money. So I was like, can I just leave it in there? He was like,
Did you just cancel your card?
Oh my gosh. I got in a crash. I don't have that car anymore.
Andrew's dying. Wait. So someone has your... Oh, no. Well,
I mean, I got a new one, but like...
Well, then you're fine.
Oh, dear goodness. I forgot about that.
As long as you canceled it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, example, there it is. Weird stuff happens to me.
Yeah. Hashtag Taryne-it-up. So
hashtag
that's an example.
Hashtag MySpace name back in the day. Okay. So this is one from... she signed it NL. So I'm assuming maybe she didn't want her full name. So I'm not going to say it.
I'm guessing anonymous then.
Yeah.
Oh, there is, I don't know if we said this, but there's an option to submit stories anonymously. So you don't have to actually like hear your name.
We don't get
over the
that
podcast.
Option. So
the confident people don't care and they'll give us their names.
Yeah.
But 90% of the time it's anonymous.
Yeah. Okay, so she says, hey guys, first of all, love you both. Love you too. Your podcast is my favorite and never fails to make me laugh. Anyways, short, funny story is coming to you. My mom has some beautiful pink and purple hydrangeas in her garden, and I told her I wanted to take some home for a centerpiece. She proceeds to give me a bunch and then starts adding a few other plants to complement them. I leave and head home, but on the way, we're driving by the cemetery where my husband's grandma is buried. We just had a crazy tornado, so all her decorations were gone. Since I already had the flowers, I decided to leave them in her grave. I'm sitting there trying to make an arrangement in a vase she has, but one of the plants was just a little too long. You know what? You know those like the vases in there? It's like short. It's like it's not like you don't have the option to just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay. I bent it. I pulled it. I bent it again, but it would not cut. So I bit them with her teeth. It's fine.
I mean,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
That works.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I didn't think anything about it, but then my lips, my throat, and my tongue started to get swollen.
Oh my God.
My husband was sitting with me the entire time and not knowing I had bit it, was confused, thinking maybe I got bit by something and was having a reaction.
Right.
I proceeded to tell him.
Or you ate something.
Yeah.
Because I feel like tongue, throat, that sounds like she ate like a peanut and was allergic to peanuts or something like that.
Yeah. So he looks at me and he says, what happens? And she's like, well, I bit this plant. And he's like, why? Why did you bite it?
Well, I bit a hydrangea.
Yeah, no big deal. I tell him what happened, but by this time I had a lisp and was trying to wash out my mouth. Anyways, we had to go to the hospital and it turns out I had an allergic reaction to whatever plant. So now I have an excuse to not be a vegetarian. Yeah. Also, I took part of the plant with me to the hospital. And yes, they were all very confused as to why I bit it. But I'm sorry to say it's not the first time. She says LOL, but I'm like, you can't just drop in. It's not the first time I've
and then not explain.
Eaten a plant?
She's eaten a plant before?
I don't know.
Interesting. So she brought, I get it. So she brought the hydrangea to show them what she...
Yeah. I don't think it was a hydrangea. I feel like it was one of the like extra plants that they like put in maybe.
Like the greenery or something?
Maybe.
I don't know. That's sketchy.
That's unfortunate.
The only thing is like, I feel like I wouldn't, it doesn't matter. And everyone thinks differently, but in my head, biting it off with my mouth isn't an option. Like I wouldn't have immediately done that.
I can see myself.
I would have been like, oh well, like it's just gonna not fit, I guess.
Yeah. I guess.
So that's our hashtag Taryne-it-up segment. We look forward to it every single episode. So if you guys have any, be sure to submit. We have a story time. This is usually where we go into someone sending us a story that they want advice on. And Taryne,
Yeah.
what gender
Shut up.
do you think I have
Is it
today?
a guy?
It's a dude. For those of you that don't know, we have like a 5% male listeners out there. And there's a guy here. Did you see? Oh, look, a guy. We know that there's guy listeners because we see them like post, we see them like do stories, and we get analytics, so we know you're out there.
Yeah.
But we never get emails from them. No. It's always
but again,
women.
I feel like, I don't know, growing up with brothers, like that makes sense to me.
I mean,
you know what I
maybe.
mean?
We kind of called them out. In
My
this
brothers?
No, just guy
boys.
listener, our guy listeners in general.
Step it up.
Recently.
Okay, let me, I screenshot a couple things because I was excited. So this is from X Dave on Instagram. He said, "Hey y'all, I'm David and just wanted to send y'all a message." I love how people say y'all, but then now I say it sometimes.
I used to never, and now I hang out with a bunch of friends from the Midwest, and I say it all the time.
Don't you feel like a poser kind of saying
yeah,
it?
I feel like it doesn't sound
Me
right.
too. Stop me if I do it. Okay. But you're doing great, David. This is not about you. Okay. Both of you guys have inspired me so much, and I want to thank you for that. I am probably one of the few guys that listen, and I honestly feel as though more guys should listen. I love you all so much.
Amen, David.
He said y'all, but I said you all because I grew up in California. Stay beautiful and amazing. Which
Wow.
gas us up.
I guess so. Compliments going straight to our head.
Yeah.
Was that the only one that you screenshotted?
No.
Oh, okay.
I
Keep
thought you
going.
were like moving on. I didn't
Oh,
wanna,
no,
okay.
not at all.
This is okay. We're being so nice to each other right now. Like usually I think because when we record, we're like in a studio just like facing each other, and we live together, and we probably like we're in the car driving there together. So by the time we're like in the room staring at each other,
just
we
annoyed
just
as
start
hell with
fighting
each other. Yeah.
My mom asked me the
Also,
other
there's
day.
people here, so
Yeah. We're trying to behave.
trying to be nice.
Did I tell you my mom was like, are you guys okay? I was like,
Is your friendship okay?
it's great. Yeah. Okay, this one is from _M Hurling, and he said, "You guys, hey guys, it's PM. I don't know what that means. Like nighttime?
I guess so.
Sure. I absolutely love your podcast, and yes, I am a boy. I was listening to your most recent episode, and you mentioned all the guy fans not sending in anything, so I thought I'd send a DM. Thank you for all the encouragement and happiness your podcast gives me."
Oh,
Change in the
my
world.
heart.
Yeah.
That's so kind.
I mean, we love girls. We're not saying like, girl power. We love our girl audience, but like,
No,
it's
I
just
feel like
nice
our girl talk is great. Like,
Yeah.
it's really great. And it is helpful, I think, for women to send us their problems and messages and questions and situation scenarios that they want help with. Because, we are also women. So I get how that would just be easier. But
if guys were smart,
we can, true.
Like,
I mean, if it's like
hello.
girl problems that they're asking, wanting help
just
with.
any problems, like hearing how a girl, my brothers, they would get in fights with their people, and they would come to me and tell me, and I would
By
just
people, do you mean girlfriend?
girlfriend and wife. I don't know.
I feel like we should clarify.
They're in line.
People's
somewhere.
weird.
They're gonna be so bad when they finally get in. Anyways, and there's been so many times where like I'll just look at him and I'll be like, "No, you're wrong. Like that's stupid." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Think about what you just said to her. Like think about it, you know?"
Yeah.
And so like I think if guys listen to the way we talk and think, they'd be wifed up in no time.
Basically, we're just saying everyone
whatever.
needs us in their lives and they need to listen to unsolicited advice.
Yeah. Again, we're very humble. Welcome to our panel. Okay, so you want to get into your story?
Yes.
I'm very excited.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna.
So I'll hit you with a title then,
Yeah.
because that's what we normally do. I'll tease it out with the title. Then we'll take an ad break, and then I'll get into the story. Again, this is from a guy. He wants to be anonymous, and the title is "My Introduction to Online Dating."
Oh yes, I'm so excited.
The dating ones are so good. It's always hilarious.
Well, and
so I'm
online
very
is
much
just
looking
like-
forward to this.
Totally, yeah. Okay, let's do
So
it.
let's take a break, and then we'll get into it.
Okay, break. So I am in a great mood because we are working yet again with BetterHelp. And you guys know we are such big fans and supporters of them just because it goes so well with what we do. And though we would love to pretend that we can solve everyone's problems, and maybe some of us believe that a little bit, we do know that we are not professionals and there are things that people go through that they need professional help. And we definitely recommend reaching out if that is the case. So again, I'm just going to start spinning out some facts about BetterHelp. You guys can start communicating with your own counselor in under 24 hours. So it's a quick way to get help if you need it. It's easy and free to change counselors. So maybe you start and you're not really vibing with someone. It's really important to find somebody that just really gels with you and the way that you communicate. Also, financial aid is available for those who qualify. So it's an affordable option. And these are licensed therapists. So we've all done where we've Googled self-help. I'm going through this. I don't know how to get through this. And that's an amazing thing that we have with the internet. But this is something where you can go and actually get someone who's a licensed professional that can help you with your situation. So again, it really is an affordable option. But because we love you guys, we also want to partner with them to give UA listeners 10% off your first month with discount code Unsolicited Advice. If you've been wanting to talk to someone, get started right away. Just go to betterhelp.com/unsolicited advice, fill out a questionnaire, get matched with a counselor you love, and get the help you need. Again, that's betterhelp.com/unsolicited advice.
Okay, so we get a lot of online dating scenarios and questions, and we both just think it's freaking hilarious.
I still am waiting for you. I want to do an online dating episode.
We talked about doing an online dating episode with containing all apps, all dating apps in general, because
I've only done Hinge, but I deleted it. Okay. If you guys don't listen to our podcast, you should listen to how many episodes ago was it?
I don't remember.
It was the one right before our October series started. It was about this girl in an online dating situation, and it was so terrifying that I went home and deleted it immediately.
Oh, the girl that I read. Yeah. That was 3 episodes ago, I think.
Yeah. So anyways, but Hinge is the only one
People
I have.
are weird, guys.
But my idea was I think we should pull up dating profiles and give, obviously they won't hear it, but give advice to these people.
Right.
Because some of the stuff I see on these guys' profiles, I'm
bad.
This is how you're trying to catch someone?
Yeah, no, we've gone through it.
You have one sentence.
You're only allowed, one shirtless photo is already a risk. You can't have 6. That's not okay.
No. And when you upload the photo, you know how sometimes your head is cut off. You have to drag it down into the frame. It's why I can't even see what you look like, fool. How am I supposed to?
Or the pictures with the guy with a random girl, and they don't clarify whether it's their mom or their sister or their best friend. It's just
see, Ashley,
she should not be there.
Pure gold.
Anyway,
also, there was one guy. He had no pictures except one, and it was I'm assuming a sheet and just a freaking cord. So he's definitely killed
dangerous,
people.
Weird people. Yeah. Weird people out there.
Yeah. It's
anyways,
terrifying. Okay, let's do it.
We digress. We're going to get into the story. Again, this is from Anonymous, and the title is My Introduction to Online Dating.
And just so you know, so this is what we do on our podcast, and then I've never heard her stories, and she's never heard mine. So I'm right here with you. I should just come sit by you guys.
Uh-huh.
I'm ready. I know. I'm ready.
You could if you wanted to. I feel like I could just walk around in this room with my mic if I wanted to. Okay. I had recently gotten out of a 3-year relationship with an amazingly talented girl. We realized that although we had so much respect for each other, we were more of great friends than we were in love. While going through the typical after breakup depression, I had my friends convince me to join a dating site. It's always the friends. I don't think most people actually willingly decide to join a dating site. Someone always convinces them.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I always thought dating sites were interesting from the descriptions that my friends gave. You just swipe and find either a really hot girl or someone to date. I soon realized that was not the case because it's definitely not. Prior to my 3-year relationship, the thought of online dating was still weird, and I had only heard of Match.com or other more serious sites. So when I downloaded my first app, Tinder.
Ooh. I feel I've never been on Tinder, but I feel every crazy story starts with this guy I met on Tinder.
I've never been on Tinder either because I've heard like the worst. I've heard the worst stories. So he says, yeah. So when he got on his first app, Tinder, he was in for a shock. I guess by the time I joined Tinder, it was already the not cool site. I wasn't aware of this yet, but I was soon to find out. I downloaded the app, uploaded some pictures, and began swiping. After a couple minutes of swiping, I had a match.
Aww.
And he goes on to explain, your first match ever is pretty exciting, and I was eager to figure out this first date. And it's true. I think your first match, you're like, oh my gosh,
someone likes me. Until they like message you twice and then never respond. And
until
like,
they say, hey, that's it.
Yeah.
No punctuation, nothing else. And you're just like,
it.
hi.
Or send me pics. That's
like,
always a fun one.
Delete.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was excited to get his first date figured out. It was a hot summer day, and the conversation started with her saying that her AC was broken and asked if I had AC at my place. This was a first match, and I was excited about this, but there's no way I would invite a stranger over, which good for you, Anonymous.
Wait, that's what she was trying. She was trying to come over?
I think she was hinting because she said her AC was broken and asked if his worked.
That's a weird approach. Like, oh, I'm so hot in my house. Can I come over?
I mean, if you feel faint,
You know?
it would give him a chance to swoop in and, save her from heat stroke.
This is fun hearing like Andrew and Mark like laugh because usually we can't hear them because there's like something between us. Sorry,
yeah. So he says even though he was excited about matching with her, he would not invite a stranger over in like 2 minutes.
No.
Which no, I completely agree with that. So we talked a bit, but the conversation kept switching to her wanting to come over. Guys,
dang,
it's a big red flag. Actually, guys or girls, anything like that, that's a red flag. I finally dropped what was soon to be the worst first date line ever. I said, let's go to Jamba Juice.
What?
Not even like Froyo or something, like Jamba Juice.
Not just like, let's get coffee or Starbucks. Who freaking wants to go suck on a smoothie for your first date?
I don't know, but I like him. He's funny. Clearly, I had been out of the dating game for a while, but somehow she said yes. We picked a time, and I drove to meet her at Jamba Juice. When I was about 2 blocks away, she called and asked if I was still on my way. And I said yes. The way he writes from now on is really funny. You guys will pick up on it. She asked if I could pick her up because she lived a block away. And I said yes.
Why? That's a bad idea.
She then told me that she got in a fight with her roommate and got kicked out. So she wasn't wearing shoes and didn't have her purse. And somehow I said, that's fine.
Hold on. Homegirl is trying to come over to use his AC.
Uh-huh.
Then she's saying, I'm in a fight with my roommate and I don't have my shoes on.
The fact that she got in a fight and is locked out terrifies me. Confrontation in general terrifies me. So the fact that he willingly was like, yeah, I'll get involved.
No. I'd be like, you clearly have some stuff going on.
No.
Deal with that.
Like,
also, side note,
pick her out.
If you ever lock me out, I would burst
never.
through a window.
We're new roommates. We just recently moved in together. There's no way I would lock you out. I feel like that's
I'd fight
a
you.
line that doesn't need to be crossed.
Like, let's just like punch it out and then we'll be fine. Like, don't lock me out.
Okay, so she's wearing no shoes, does not have a purse, and he agreed to go pick her up. He says, when I arrived at her house, she was waiting on the front lawn. Just as she was getting into the car.
With her bare, nasty feet? What?
I know. We're never going to get through this.
Sorry.
But yeah, I have a problem. We both, like, bare feet is gross.
I don't
especially
like
as
feet.
Strangers. In my car, I'd be like, oh, honey.
No.
I would just keep driving. I wouldn't even stop.
Emma, please put these grocery bags over your feet before you get in.
Just when she was getting into the car, her roommate came out running and throwing things. So she jumped in the car and we drove off.
What the heck?
I know. About a half a block later, her roommate calls and says she's scared of her being with someone that she didn't know and wanted to join us on our Jamba Juice date.
I can't. The same girl that locked her out.
The same girl that locked her out and was
Okay.
throwing things.
Now she's like, "Oh, come back."
So the girl in his car asked him, would it be okay if she joins us? And I said, it's fine. We get back to the house and my date needed to get out of the car because I was in a 2-door convertible, so her roommate could get in the back seat. Her roommate proceeded to jump in the front seat, slammed the door, and told me to drive. I did not. I can't with this guy. It's funny. The girl I was on a date with started yelling that I would never drive off without her. I had just met them both and wished I could get away.
See,
I literally would just melt inside. I couldn't handle the two of them yelling. Like one person yelling would be enough, but two, I would just have left my car and just walked away.
I feel like that's a lot of crazy
That's
to
a
put
lot
up
of crazy.
with.
And
The
he just
first
met
time
her.
you-
They haven't
yeah.
even met in person before. This is the first time.
You're supposed to like tone down your crazy on your first date. At least you try.
Well, it gets better.
Oh no.
The roommate, who is now, again, remember, in the front seat of his car, then tries to light a cigarette in the car,
Oh no.
which is just, if you don't know the person, rude. You know, you don't know how they feel about that. So the car tries to light the cigarette in the car. So then I said, hey, let's all stand outside and have a cigarette together. He's such a like peacekeeper. Like you can really feel this guy.
Do you think he's a 9?
I'm guessing so. We're really big in the Enneagram for like personality tests and stuff like
Super
that.
into it.
He sounds like a really chill guy. I feel like me and him are the same number.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I could, out of both of us, like I could see you.
I feel like you
putting
could get
up
in the
with
middle
more.
of the fight and just be like, and I would just be like, I can't.
Is that what I sound like when I'm feisty?
Maybe.
No, but like you would put up with more because you'd be like, I don't
scared
know
to-
how to like step in or stop this.
I can't get
Whereas
anything.
I would be like, skirt.
Yeah, exactly. Once we were all out of the car, I said I left my pack in the car and would be right back.
Is he gonna run? Is he gonna run?
I got in my car and quickly drove off.
Good.
He should have done that from the second he saw the bare feet.
Yeah.
This is where I thought the date from hell had ended.
What?
But the girl called me nightly at 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. to come over all the time. I consistently said no and blocked her after 2 days of calling. Good. I mean, I genuinely, after that whole fight on the lawn, I would have blocked her immediately.
I was going to say, yeah, like I would have blocked her already.
Yeah. Then she started calling from other numbers.
Oh my gosh.
This went on for about 3 weeks. Guys, girls are crazy. Girls are crazy. 3 weeks of her calling from different numbers because he's starting to like recognize numbers. Anyways, one night, my roommate, who thought that I was making this all up, which reminds me of Taryne making up her Taryne-it-up stories.
Rude.
His roommate's like, that's not true. His roommate saw that she was calling him as they were leaving EP and LP. And if you guys don't know, EP and LP is a really dope rooftop bar.
I don't think I've ever been there.
We need to go. It's really
Take
fun.
me.
So his roommate begged me to answer because he wanted to meet her.
Oh no.
So in my drunk state, I answered and we went to her new apartment. I love how he just inserts new apartment because clearly she had to move out with her from her friend. From her friend's place.
Yeah.
So in my drunk state, I answered and we went to her new apartment and she told us she was having a party. Once we entered the apartment, we found out that it was her apartment, but it was not her party.
Oh dear God.
She had Airbnb'd half of her apartment to strangers.
Why is he going there?
I don't know. Once my roommate confirmed that I wasn't lying, we told her we would have a cigarette outside and be right back. We did not. We just drove off very fast. At this point, he knew what I was dealing with, and my roommate had heard of horror stories, but never really believed them until now. The following night, we were getting ready to leave, and she calls me at 10 p.m., again from a random number. I was going to say, like, why did you answer? But random number.
I don't. Do you answer?
I don't anymore.
I don't ever. I'm always scared.
Sketch. Yeah.
It usually is like, hello, we are blah, blah, blah. You know, like those robot people.
I said I was in a rush, but she insisted that she needed to talk. So I listened to her describe this guy she was dating that stopped returning calls, ignoring her, and quickly realized she was describing me.
Oh, dear God. Guy she's dating?
The guy she's dating.
Oh, my
God.
God.
I maybe had a 15-minute conversation with this person in total. There was no way that this could be considered dating. So I told my roommate, and we sat down. I love how he called his roommate in to help, and wrote a very nice cliche breakup text. It said something about how I miss my ex. It wasn't her, it was me. She deserves so much more, etc. The response was a multiple paragraph text that said something like, I was evil, terrible, and played with her heart.
Oh my God. Can we ask him to send the full text? Because I want to read all those paragraphs.
We won't show her name, anonymous, if you could please.
She's crazy.
Send us the text, so block everything.
Yeah.
But finally the call stopped and it was all over. It took a couple of weeks, but then I tried online dating again, got on better apps, and now have calls before ever having a first date. That was not fun, and wanted to make sure that it doesn't happen to somebody else. Anonymous.
Dear Lord.
That is terrible. That
chick
so
is
bad.
nuts.
I feel like this honestly confirms that we have to have an online dating, like maybe even series.
Yeah.
We were talking about an episode only, but I feel like there's too many good stories out there that we could do this like once a month because it's just so funny. But I mean, he wanted advice on like where he went wrong. I would say right off the bat, her wanting to know about his AC is sketchy.
That's, like,
if there was like an
aggressive.
undertone like, hey, does yours work? Then it's like, invite me over.
Yeah.
And that's weird. I think online dating 101, always phone call / FaceTime before meeting someone in person, because you don't know.
I mean, I feel like you'd weed out like the like actual like psycho people, maybe. But like,
I mean, they might get
even
through, but
that-
at least you'd hone in on like, you're not getting catfished.
well,
you
the
know?
catfish thing, yeah, you have to figure out. But I feel like people are good at like, well, should be good at hiding their
Yeah,
crazy.
but that's
This girl's
definitely a
not.
first step that he did not do, which he obviously has learned
Yeah.
since then. But, you know, after reading this whole thing, he was like bagging on himself for mentioning Jamba Juice, but I disagree. I think Jamba Juice is a solid first place to meet this girl.
I just think, oh, well, yeah, like a casual.
He was like, this is
think-
like the worst song. I'm like, well, but if you don't know them, then I would do something like that too.
No, yeah. It
I
has
wouldn't
to be,
commit to a
like-
dinner. Even a coffee feels like.
Yeah. I just don't think like drinking a smoothie is like, you're not the most attractive. You know, especially when you get like a chunk of banana up in there and you're like, you know what I mean?
Yes. And then I feel like just in general, anytime a girl conveniently forgets her bag on like a
Yeah.
first date, obviously she got locked out. The girl couldn't help it. But
I
like,
just feel the
I'm
whole
like, you
like
don't have your
barefoot.
bag
I don't
either?
have a like. I just feel like this is not.
You
a good
sound
time.
a mess.
Let's-
I don't want to be
yeah.
involved in that. So yeah, and then I think he should have just blocked her immediately, even though like obviously his roommate got a kick out of it. So that's fine.
You know, I was hating on him for like going to the thing, but I kind of like get it.
Yeah.
Like at that point, like it became like this like joke. Like, so he was like, "Come on, let's go like see her." But
I would do that if
when
you
he
asked. I'd be
forget-
like, okay, I guess I'll see her one more time if you wanted to see like a crazy guy that I went out with.
"Oh yeah." But when he wakes up and she's standing over his bed and she kills him, it's his own fault. That's all I'm saying.
He asked for it.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
So that's the end of my story. Thank you guys so much for listening.
So you guys might remember a few weeks ago, we talked about EverlyWell, which is an amazing at-home wellness test. And I personally took the food sensitivity test. And guys, it was amazing, like what I learned about my body and the foods that I just so casually eat every day. If you're still confused or don't remember us talking about it, EverlyWell offers more than 30 different at-home lab tests, from fertility to food sensitivity to heart health, basically anything you've like wanted to know about your body, they can tell you. Also, they come with super easy to follow directions, and when you get your results, they're super easy to understand and are personalized just for you. Every test is physician reviewed by like a real doctor, so it's not just some made up thing. It's something you can trust, and the shipping is free. I know I've really enjoyed now, like when I'm choosing what to eat, knowing what I'm doing and knowing my body and what's gonna make me feel the best. And I'm excited for you guys to, you know, feel the same thing. thing. If you guys are interested in checking out EverlyWell, you guys can get 15% off an EverlyWell at-home lab test just by visiting everlywell.com/advice and entering code ADVICE. Again, that's EverlyWell, Everlywell.com/advice. Use code ADVICE for 15% off your test.
We do want to open it up to like a Q&A. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, you're welcome to come up. Otherwise, we usually end it with a dad joke because sometimes like the stories do get really serious and it'll be like a little bit of a downer. So we try to keep it positive.
That's not the only reason. I'm obsessed with dad jokes because that's my humor. Like I am meant to marry like
I can never figure them out. So I always try to like guess.
I think they're so funny. But I feel like my dad is kind of like that. Like he's like that. I've mentioned it before, but he has the same lines every time we go to a restaurant.
I've witnessed it.
I always know it's coming. She comes and she goes, "Would you like a refill?" And he goes, "No thanks, I'm driving." And he's having like soda, you know, like just like those cheesy things, and I just love it.
It's so good.
So I asked to read a dad joke one time, and then
the response was unreal.
Everyone, yes, because everyone loves dad jokes, and you're weird.
Yeah, I love them. I just don't always get the joke. That's all. That's all.
Aw.
Yeah. It's a process. We're working on it.
She usually sits there and tries to figure it out, and then I'm dying laughing, and then she's just like, "Oh, it's funny."
Anyways, if you have a question, you're more than welcome to come up. If not, we're going to wrap it up with a dad joke.
Questions? Anyone? Comments? No.
No worries.
Mark, ask us a question.
You have to step up to the mic, though.
Please step up to the mic, sir.
Let me get in frame, so
Oh my gosh, yes. Please.
when the mechanic breaks open your door 5 years from now and they go on a spending spree, how are you going to explain that to the credit card company?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's not too many explanations. Like, it's just
I feel like you would just have to tell them the whole story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it would start a good conversation, I guess.
I mean,
wait, this might be a dumb question. When you get a new credit card, it's new numbers too?
Yeah. Oh. It's the same account, but a different credit card number.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So you're fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And hashtag adult life.
She doesn't know this. I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I'll be 32.
It's fine. It's fine, Ashley. Any questions? No. Comments?
Oh.
Andrew has another one.
Oh.
All right. So Andrew is our other podcast producer at Studio 71. Mm-hmm. This is a huge announcement for everyone, actually. Taryne is going to appear on one of our dating podcasts hosted by a Bachelor contestant.
Yes.
And I believe she didn't win, but she actually married the dude. No, they're not married. They're dating. They're not married. Yeah. I take that back.
Yeah.
I know all the people I work with.
They're on their way.
I'm super informed. So Taryne's going to appear on it, and Andrew wants to know, should Mark go on a dating podcast? The same one.
Absolutely. Wait, can I just be like watching?
We're going to watch.
Well, I'm coming to watch yours, so yeah.
Yes. No, absolutely you should.
So the answer is yes?
Yes.
Absolutely.
The answer is yes.
Well, can we have a whole episode where you coach me on how to date again since it's been like 16 years?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Okay. I will totally. I got you.
Complete with dating profile creation and everything.
What to say, what not to say.
I'm recently divorced, everyone, so they're gonna help me out.
Yeah. This is gonna be
we got you.
Like our project. We're gonna like go ham on this.
And
I'm
all
so
our listeners
are
all our listeners love you, so they support you too.
Oh, fantastic.
Go, Mark. Yes.
Best of luck, Mark.
I'm great at dating advice, which is so really funny because I am so single.
Super single.
So single. Like my entire life. Pretty much.
So hit us with some dad jokes, Taryne.
Okay. Don't have to ask me twice. How many can I do? Should I just do one?
Give us two.
Okay.
They want the audience wants two.
Yeah. I'm so sorry if you don't think this is funny, but okay. Why did the coffee file a police report?
Interesting.
Can I say it?
I don't.
You're not
I don't know.
because it got mugged. Someone said that's terrible. It's not.
It is not.
Okay.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, okay. This was funny.
What if you start laughing before she even reads it?
What
out
if
loud?
I just become like a stand-up comedian? Okay.
I don't see that. I
No confidence
you
in me.
never know.
It's fine. What do you call a fat psychic? They're so funny. Can I say it?
I'm thinking like future something. No.
No. A fortune teller.
Oh my god.
You get it?
Yeah. A fortunes teller.
I have like 6 chins at certain angles, so it's fine. One more.
Okay.
Okay. This graveyard looks overcrowded. People must be dying to get in there.
All right.
No?
I feel like this is a good spot to
Don't cut me off, Ashley.
to wrap it up.
You're so rude. Support me.
If you guys haven't yet, you can follow us on all of our socials. If you have stories that you want to submit and get wonderful professional advice from, then you can email us at
Advice unsolicited pod.
Guys, getting
@gmail.com.
our social handles the same was impossible. So they're all different.
My bad.
So we can never remember. You can also DM us on Instagram or tweet us. And thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming.
This is our first one, and we don't know any different. So
this is a great start.
A special moment we get to share with you.
It is just like all up from here. You know,
we're gonna get super famous. You're not even gonna find a seat next time. No, just kidding.
Putting that out there. And yeah,
that's it. Okay.
thank you.
Bye.